हमारे लिए, हमारे ऑडियंस के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो एक बेसिक पहला सवाल आपके लिए सर, व्हाई स्टूडेंट feels very confused though there is lot of information available outside till today?
You know what is interesting today? Students are not confused, but they are overloaded with a lot of information. You know, they research, they go out and talk on Quora, Reddit, and various other platforms where there's tons of information available around various studying options. They even go on YouTube channels and watch videos at 2 a.m. trying to understand what other students are talking or other influencers are talking around this. What happens eventually is that so much information eventually leads them to so many more choices. You know, somebody is talking about easier PR in Canada, somebody is talking about free education in Germany, somebody is talking about 100% free education in Italy, somebody talks about there are no jobs in UK, somebody talks about visa issues in US, and so much more. What happens eventually? There is no filtration of the information which happens for the students. They get overloaded, they get equally confused, but at the same time now they struggle to decide which is the better option for them.
Yes, so I feel that information is very well helpful for the upcoming students. My second question to you is, what is the biggest fear student feels and thus they don't talk about openly about their problem?
See, I think there are actually student struggles with not one fear, but there are many. You know, the most important one, what if I ended up in a wrong university in a wrong country? The second comes in, what happens if I don't get a job? Third is, of course, you know, there's a lot of burden on financing the education. Who will I eventually be able to pay? You see, studying abroad is not a choice made by a 20-year-old kid. They are actually not in a position to do so. It's the decision of the family. It's a family investment, and parents in India and studying abroad is a return on investment decision. If I'm going to spend this much of money, how much I'm going to return, how much am I going to get back? So the confusion and the anxiety arises out of making the first step, which is what if I go on a wrong university or in a wrong country?
Yes, thank you so much. ये सिस्टम के बारे में हो गया अभी. But why do students actually follow trends rather than going for what actually suits to them? इस बारे में आपका ख्याल क्या है?
You know, it's a famous saying, as we say, you know, not everybody can fit into the same shoes. So what happens is a lot of students try to follow what is going on currently in the market. So they try to see themselves fitting into other shoes rather than figuring things out for themselves, which means they get more confused because clarity तो किसी ने दी नहीं, confusion create किया. उसके साथ कौन सा कैरियर फिट करना है, कौन सी कंट्री में मेरे को ऑप्शंस अच्छे मिलेंगे, कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी मेरे लिए बेस्ट है, इसमें क्लैरिटी आने के बजाय देयर इज मोर कन्फ्यूजन विच हैज़ बीन क्रिएटेड बिकॉज स्टूडेंट्स वांट टू फॉलो द ट्रेंड. I think most important for the student is to follow what is the right approach for them. So either they find a right consultant or a company who can draw their entire career map in this direction, or they need to think very carefully not to follow the trend, not to try to fit into anybody else's shoes, but to create their own path. I think this would be my advice for all the students who are looking forward for their abroad studies.
अभी लास्ट और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन, what would help students to make them a better choice?
So if you have a clarity, you will have a reduced anxiety. When your anxiety is reduced, you have a more confidence, and when you have better confidence, you make a very good decision with regards to your career. Clarity है तो confusion खत्म है, confusion खत्म है तो anxiety खत्म है. This would be my advice. All the best to the students who are looking forward for their education abroad.